A lot of movement for the trade deadline, man. One move I specifically thought about you. OKC made a move, man. A big move, in my opinion. Thunder
Yeah,
got Gordon Hayward, bro. How you feeling
yeah.
about this trade?
I think it's a positive trade for sure, bro. So it gives a good veteran presence. It's just a score. I think he averages about like 14 points a game right now. Good scoring output. As you know, Gordon Hayward, he was really on the rise. And then he got to Boston. I don't know if y'all remember that tragic injury he happened. But
Yeah.
since then, he's making a decent comeback though. He's not the same Gordon Hayward of old, but Utah Jazz. But he's still that guy. He gives us a good veteran presence because again, OKC, one of the youngest teams in the league. We're talented. You can see that, but this gives us another scoring output, some veteran leadership. I like the move, and by all outlets, it's a great move. Honestly, it's a good move for both sides for what the Hornets are trying to do and what we trying to do in OKC. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good trade.
Oh yeah. I agree. Solid trade. Got a nice veteran presence from Gordon Hayward. Um, I think that he'll fit in pretty easily to be like a. To me, he should come off the bench. I don't know if that's going to be the case, but I feel like he can provide a good scoring output, to keep things afloat when Shea and Chet go to the bench. Uh, yeah, I like the move for sure. And Charlotte made a lot of moves for the trade deadline, so they obviously have not been very solid this year. But
Mm-hmm.
they build back up with some draft picks. Got Davis Bertans, they got Trey Mann. So
Yeah,
they got a good return, in my opinion.
yeah, they got some decent return with what they're trying to do. They're still clearly in this rebuilding process in Charlotte, so that's what they're doing. And honestly, the veterans that got traded recently to OKC have kind of like revitalized their career to some point. At least the most recent ones. Think about CP3.
Mm,
Um, yeah, man. Like that's just one example. I know we had Kimba for a little bit,
yeah,
um, but still, it's a good place to revitalize your career. It's a great culture. I can't knock the culture, man. So, veteran leadership. Me personally, I wouldn't start him per se. He can come out the bench, and he'll get valuable minutes though for sure. Like he knows, like come out the bench, he'll still be like some really good minutes. So
oh
yeah,
yeah, it's a solid pickup by the Thunder, and especially now, like you said, they needed that veteran to just be there in moments. I think they have been obviously very good this year, and adding someone like Gordon Hayward to take him into that playoff run would be a big help to be able to just be that leader, be that voice, be that presence to guide them. Because I don't think any of these guys have had like a really deep playoff run before, so it'll be cool.
not really. Yeah, not really. Not a deep playoff run, but this season we're looking to at least just make some type of run
Yeah, man.
for sure.
I'm really happy about how the Thunder have been playing this year, bro. Like, obviously, they went through the big three and KD, Russ, and Harden, and then eventually all of them being dealt away or leaving. And now they're seeing and Sam Presti, the king of draft picks, bro, just what he's been able
For
to
sure.
do and happen in his tenure has been amazing to watch, and it's really paying off. Like they have been one of the most exciting teams to watch, at least in my opinion. So solid, bro.
Right. Now I wish along with a lot of other fans for OKC, we kind of wish we got like traded for a big,
Mm.
just get some help in that. But I'm happy with the move. Um, yeah, it's gonna be good. Now the next thing to look forward to is the buyout, the
That's true.
buyout candidates, and
Yep.
like I know y'all can potentially. I mean, just saying.
There's some
I don't know
potential.
what y'all gonna do. But y'all can like the buyout market is a really good place to pick up some of those guys can really help those championship teams. So
For sure.
gotta look at that next. But going back to the trade though, and what happened though, and what happened that whole day was weird. Like I don't know what the Pistons are doing, bro.
Hey, all I know is the Pistons won 2 games in a row. First time I heard that this season, so they got to be doing something right.
I mean, but Killian Hayes has so much potential. I thought, and just to cut him like that, that's weird to me, bro. It's
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know what they're doing in business, bro. You can trade him
yeah.
at least. I guess they couldn't find a trade, but that's weird.
I don't know what's going on with Detroit right now. They're just building for the draft. Honestly, probably gonna make some moves in the offseason that'll help them to rebuild at some point. I just feel bad for Kate Cunningham, bro. It's I saw one clip of a Pistons game, and he was, and somebody in the crowd was like, "Man, they should trade you." He was just like, he kind of like nodded his head a little bit, but I was like, "No, bro,
No, he just got there.
ah, it's
You
tough."
know, they're plenty of good players that, based on your drafted, the franchise is not going to be that great.
Yeah,
So
they traded their vets in Bogdanovich and Alec Burks to the Knicks, so I'm like, oh
mm,
yeah, I don't know. They are just getting ready to have
yeah.
a youth
Shout
movement.
out to the Knicks, by the way, though. Those are some good pickups for sure.
Those were some Tom Thibodeau type of trades for sure. But they've been solid too. I can't even be mad at it. I think that'll help, especially with just having
Yeah.
another shooter out there and another ball handler in Burks, and he's already like familiar with them. So
What do you think about the Bucks? Pat Beverly announcing his own trade, by the way, on his podcast.
I saw him tweet about it. It was like it was like Woj tweet trade tweet bombs or something 11, Shams 5, Pat Bev 1. He was
Yeah,
like,
it is one. It was a good one. It was actually a good trade. So
yeah. No, it's good for Pat, man.
it's good for
Pat
him. He's on a contender.
on a contender. He was already on a contender, but I feel like this kind of helps him out because with Embiid being hurt, they could have some issues in Philly for a minute. But I
And
think he brings
Bucks
something.
need defense, and that's what you get. Some
They need a
post.
defensive presence for sure.
Yeah, so that's what you get. So it's a good trade. So I like it. I really do. Other than that, there are a lot of trades with names that if you're not a fan of that specific team, you may not know those players. If you don't follow NBA a whole lot, you really wouldn't know. There were some pick swaps and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the other major trade that happened, it happened a while back though. We didn't talk about it. Um, the Grizzlies traded like Steven Adams.
They
That
did.
was big to me. And they got Victor Oladipo. It's a second round pick. Now that was big to me. And of course, we didn't really talk about this either, but your team, that was a big trade.
We did.
Quintero's there.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Scary Terry.
And of course, maybe the biggest trade of the whole trade season is Siakam.
Definitely.
Uh,
Definitely trade.
and that's a 3-team trade, so there's a lot going on. But basically, Pascal Siakam is now on the Pacers, and that feels such a huge need for them. Like now, the Pacers are set up for sure to like really contend. I
Yeah,
love that move when they did that.
for
I mean,
sure.
I hate they gave up Bruce Brown, but that
Yeah.
was I would try to keep both, but you got to give up something to get something. Pascal Siakam has that pedigree, championship pedigree already. You know what it takes to get there. Uh, More accolades to his name, so and
Oh yeah.
honestly, more potential, size, length. So like, yeah, man, he's good. And NBA serious, bro. And the last thing, a lot of people are really surprised by the lack of moves that the Lakers did not do.
Yep.
Now we can get into that a little bit because a lot of moves seem like been made in the East. West made some moves, but really the lack of moves, period, from the Lakers. And I don't know if you saw LeBron's interview, and we gotta get into this later too, bro. But Kobe had a statue unveiled, right?
Yes, sir.
We'll show it to y'all in a second. But those LeBron's comments weren't the best after the game, and a lot of fans are upset. This is lack of acknowledgement. His lack of acknowledgement, Kobe, basically. The lack of that, and basically you lose on that night. Granted, it's still a really, really good team. Current champions, by the way. So you can't knock that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it shows you like just where you are. And I feel like, and based on reports with Brian Windhorst, it's like I think we can all tell LeBron is probably disappointed the team didn't make any moves at all.
To say the least.
But at the same time, I'm like, y'all team is good, bro. I like the roster. The roster is good. We're praising the roster. Y'all won the in-season tournament.
Yeah, they did. It's just been downhill since.
It's been downhill since. So it's not looking good for in-season tournament stuff. But we like the moves. We talked about it on the Swish Masters Podcast. We like those moves.
Yeah. Like you said, I don't think it's a roster issue. Like as the team is currently constructed, well, obviously there's always the look to the coach, and I'm never one to be like, all right,
with that.
I never want to be like, you got to fire the coach because whatever. But at the same time, I do believe that a coach is supposed to be a leader, and I don't feel like the Lakers as a team have been really responding to his leadership. And that's just me from the outside looking in. But when I'm seeing,
isn't it crazy? Y'all just made the what was it, conference finals? Wait,
yeah.
finals? No, conference finals. Conference finals. They got swept, yeah. But they made it.
They got to the conference finals after I think they came from the play-in at that.
Yeah.
Or at least close to it.
That earns you some type of respect, I believe.
Yeah. I feel like guys aren't responding to Darvin Ham. And it's not to say he's not a good coach. He may not be the best fit right now. I feel like there's just some disconnect between the players and coaching. Because I'm looking at, and I can't, we have gotten on AD for years about X, Y, and Z. He's been pretty solid to me as far as like health.
Yep.
He's been, been able to score and control the boards, in my opinion. LeBron's been LeBron. Austin Reeves has been playing well. D'Angelo Russell, I've been impressed with what I've seen like for the majority of the season. He's had some ups and downs, obviously, but they have solid pieces to me, and I just don't really understand what's happened to them. Taurean Prince started off this season shooting very well.
I mean, honest with the Lakers injuries a little bit, but still, that roster still has enough depth to me. Based on preseason analysis, everyone was like, yeah, this is your roster. They should contend. But if you look at all the other teams in the West, man, that's coming up. And looking at the Lakers' position, it does not look good at all. Mm-hmm. At all. So, aging LeBron, again, he's great. But you have to predict it's going to fall off at some point. At some point. But I ain't going to lie, he's doing the unthinkable right now.
Yeah.
But AD is stepping up a little bit, but you need to start building towards the future too.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
that's why now we got new rumors of. No, the trade deadline's over now, but there was rumors like, hey, LeBron's gonna ask for a trade. He's gonna go to the Knicks. He's gonna go back to Miami. Go to Cleveland. But that's over now. But still, that's the noise that was picking up because
Yeah,
of this. And and you don't make any moves at all. Rob Pelinka, nothing. That's tough. That's tough. You're not in a good position to compete this season. Like who thinks they're gonna really contend now based on how they look?
uh,
I ain't gonna lie, bro. If they can just get in, they got a shot. They
you
got a
got
shot.
you got LeBron and AD healthy.
LeBron, you
Yeah,
always have a shot with LeBron and AD.
yeah, they got a shot for sure. It's
But
just
as far as like overwhelming favorites, like where you expect them, like
yeah,
they're not there right now. Like now the Nuggets. Look at the Clippers right now. Balling, balling, bro.
I got so. Speaking of trades,
What's up?
you know who didn't get traded?
Somebody supposed to get traded?
PJ Tucker, bro. You didn't see his IG
Oh, he
story,
showed. Oh, wait, he didn't get traded.
bro. That man said this is the NBA is a joke. I'll just paraphrase it, but
It's
that
tough.
man,
Man. I like PJ Tucker. It's just how
that
they
man,
flowing right now. It's not enough. It's not enough minutes for everybody, bro. The Clippers too stat. Clippers too stat, bro. We ain't honestly. All they can do now is maybe buy him out or try to keep him for just in case someone gets hurt. I don't know because he's a valuable piece, but it's just also he's aging. He's an aging player too. It's not the same PJ Tucker, but still a valuable asset. So if anything, they can buy him out and then he can go wherever he wants to go.
that's the thing though. I've read that he's not pursuing the buyout.
Oh
They said
well.
it wouldn't. What I read
Well,
was that it
what do
wouldn't.
you have to do then?
They just said it wouldn't make sense financially for him to pursue a buyout, which I'm like, all right. I mean, that makes sense. But he was hoping, especially since he's been voicing his frustration, that he wants to play, he wants to contend and be a part of a team. He just feels like he hasn't because he's been out of the rotation recently. He's like, I'd rather go somewhere I can play and make a difference because I still feel like I can. Which I'm like, all right, I make that makes sense.
I understand that too.
It's just kind of hard, but yeah. Now I don't know what happens with him. I guess he'll just be in LA, not happy. But
I mean,
James
you
Harden
can
said
get another ring. I mean,
potentially. James Harden said he wants him to lock in because they've been doing well, which they have. So it's like,
yeah, man, they're all former teammates, man.
yeah,
Him,
but I
James,
get it.
and Russ.
I get it. I'm not. If I'm him, somebody who's been always competitive, playing on a contending team, going out there to play for a championship, of course I want to be on the floor. I don't want to sit back and watch everybody else play. Like I get it,
That's
but
true. And he also could be trying to play for another contract too.
yeah,
They be looking at stats and everything, bro. So if you're not getting enough time playing, it can affect the
yeah,
next contract. And he deserves another contract wherever team that's with. Like, assume it's gonna be a championship contender wherever he goes. But
for sure.
that's another reason why he wants to play.
Yeah, it's fair. But yeah, man, it was an interesting trade market that we had these past few weeks. I guess I enjoy it.
Yeah, it's very interesting, man. There was a lot of moves. Y'all let us know what your favorite move was, I guess. How'd your team do? And what would you grade them?
Oh, yeah.
Uh, like, for example, how would you grade your Heat for the moves they made? Although they did it kind of early in the trade.
Oh, it was a necessary move for sure.
And I'm sure it was.
You know, my stance on Kyle Lowry has been not in the most positive light over the years. And
Mhm.
honestly, first year I know he was coming in kind of injured, kind of banged up. He's older. I get it. So I didn't. I was like, all right, he's just kind of like getting into the motions. And then when he did return, I was like, it's not. I'm not really feeling it. But he kept going. He kept playing, improving, and he became kind of solid for a minute. But this season just went like this is always my. And I'm not like just harping on him for no reason. It's I've always had this issue with Kyle Lowry throughout his entire time. Even when he was in Toronto, he was an All Star. To me, he doesn't play the same from really game to game. And I get it. He's a good dude, good player, but this year he just was not really producing for us at all. And when I saw UD tweeting stuff about getting him out of there, I was like, oh, it's bad. He got. I saw Udonis Haslam tweeting to the Heat. Now he got to go. I was like, at first I saw that and I was like, all right, he must be like maybe it's a joke or something because I thought they were all cool. But then I was like, now I saw a couple things. I saw Kyle wasn't playing, or if he was playing, he didn't seem like he was engaged, bro. So I was just like, yeah. I've always been kind of on the fence for him anyway. So it's like, so to get scary Terry Rozier for Kyle Lowry, I'm happy. And
Yeah,
Terry is obviously needing to adjust to Miami, but I think he's done a good job. So and he's going to be a much more reliable player to me for us rather than Kyle Lowry. So I'm giving it an A, man. And I think we were already in a slide when we got him. So I'm not expecting. I wasn't expecting it to be like, all right, Terry comes in, he's scoring 40 a game, and now we're winning every game because that's not who we are. But I'm happy where we are. Like we obviously Miami has dealt with injuries and players being out, different rotations, different starting lineups, obviously. And now we got Terry, we got Jimmy back, we got Kevin back. Bam's been solid, All Star, defensive player of the year. I'm saying it right now. Um, but yeah,
yeah,
and Tyler's back, Duncan's back. We got a squad, bro, and I'm happy. I'm loving what Terry's potential is like super high. Obviously, he's a D Wade disciple. So yeah, appreciate it, man. I'm looking forward to getting into these playoffs with him, going to battle.
oh yeah. I like y'all position. I love that move when I first heard it. So yeah, I know you're hyped about it. Okay, see, I give us some other moves we maybe did a pick spot with the Mavs. Let's cool with that. I'm cool with that. Um, overall, I give the trade moves we did a B plus. Like that's kind of my grade that I would give us.
Yeah,
I already gave my thoughts on the trade earlier too. So yeah, y'all give us y'all thoughts too.
definitely.